the Disaster Assistance Center will close, but you can still make application online for a physical damage loan up to September 28th. And if you're a small business and you're making a claim of economic injury or an economic injury disaster loan, then your deadline for that's going to be the 29th of April. So you still have lots of time. The centers are usually open. They usually keep the centers open as long as there seems to be high demand for on-hand, for physical support of people filling out applications. But the volume of applications that we've had really haven't justified keeping the center open. But you can still make application online, and in fact, if you went to the Disaster Assistance Center set up in your area, then they would just sit you in front of the computer, and you would actually do the online application.
I'm looking at the site now, SBA.gov, loans and grants. It's kind of a misnomer because it's the Small Business Administration, but loans are available to personal individuals as well, right?
That's correct. If it's a declared disaster area, it is a direct loan from the federal government, and the SBA does make loans to residential property, resident homes, people, and to cover unindemnified loss. So, if you've sustained damage due to the Red River flooding, and your insurance won't cover all of your losses, or say you don't have any insurance at all, then an SBA loan can be used to bring your property back up to where it was.
What about people who, and I can ask you this, I know people who spend a lot of money to keep water out of their home, and they manage to keep water out of their home. Those efforts they made to keep water out is not covered by their flood insurance. Is that something the SBA can help with?
Well, when you make an application for a disaster loan, and I'm glad you asked that question. This is a good one because we get this a lot. We have what's called redemptive improvements on your property. So if in the process of fixing your home or repairing your home and getting up to where it was before, if you want to take a loan out or get an additional disaster loan to make remediations to mitigate possible damage in the future, you can do that. So that could be anything from making an application to have your house shored, to lift your house if you need to do that, or if there's some other things that you want to do to your property to make it less susceptible to flood damages, then these sorts of things can be paid for with an SBA loan.
How much proof, Mike, do you have to show that your home was damaged? Are you guys going to ask for pictures? What do you need?
Well, usually what will happen is you'll make a claim, you'll make the application, and we'll take you on your word that what you're saying is damaged is true. The important thing when you're making an assessment or a claim for a disaster loan is that an assessor is going to eventually have to come out and validate that the amount of the loan is justified.
Is there pardon me, Mike? Is there a minimum on the loan, a maximum? What's the rate? Does it vary? Give me some details about that if you can.
Well, if it's less than $50,000, then there's no need for us to take a title position on the property. So disaster loans can be unsecured, less than $50,000, but they can go pretty much all the way down to, I don't think there is a minimum really, but I've never really seen anything less than $5,000. And typically the smaller dollar amount loans, $5,000, $10,000, $15,000, are usually just loans to replace furniture, or any sort of equipment that might have been at a physical residence, rather than actual repairs to a structure. Maximum amount of loan, I wish I knew off the top of my head. I don't. I'll get that to you, but I'll tell you that the loan amounts have gone up significantly. It's almost inconceivable that the amount that there's somebody that's suffered damage to their property. The amount of money is so high that we won't support it. I mean, there was you may have heard some rumors, and it was true back in Katrina, where there was a limit of $250,000. That's the maximum you could get for a SBA disaster loan. That's not true anymore. It's well in excess of that. In fact, I think there really isn't a limit to what you can claim on a disaster loan. There may be something written someplace, but again, it's all driven by policy, and if you, as long as you can state your claim and make a case for what your damage is, exceptions can be granted.
What's the rate, and how long do you have to pay it back?
The rate for if it's determined that you had credit available elsewhere, in other words, you have the ability to actually secure a loan yourself without support from the SBA, then the rate that you're going to pay is 4%. It could go as far as 4% for a fixed interest rate loan over a period of up to 30 years. Typically, they're made to 20 for a real property loan. If it's determined that you don't have the ability to secure a loan to pay for the repairs of your property, then the rate that you're going to pay is 2.625%, basically what the Treasury bond rate is right now.
And how quick do you get the money? Once I make the loan, say I make an application today, how soon do I get a check?
I can't really tell you that. I mean, if everything's perfect and everything for the smaller dollar amount loans where there's not going to be any lien position that has to be taken, the loan closing documents are pretty simple. It could be a matter of a week. It's really as fast as you can get it. What usually takes a lot of time is in the process of getting the loan application in. In situations like right now, there's low volume of loans coming into the Disaster Service Center, so your process times are going to be typically quicker. If you have a major disaster like Katrina or hurricane or earthquake or something like that, where you have literally thousands of applications coming in every day, you can expect to take more time. But there's no reason why it should take more than 90 days.
And it's SBA.gov. What is it again?
SBA.gov.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a link on the website that'll take you to the disaster office. In fact, if you go to the website,
Mm-hmm.
under SBA.gov, there's a link along the top that says local assistance, and under local assistance there's another link that says disaster field offices, and you click on that. And there's another link. I'm sorry, it's so complicated, but there's another link to the Disaster Assistance Customer Service Center. So you click on that link.
Gotcha.
And then what you'll do is under Spotlight, there's a box, and it's Spotlight called Recent Disaster Declarations. You can click on that.
Holy crap, Mike! Aaron just borrowed $2 million.
I'm gonna put this on our website so folks can get to it. It'll be at 710keel.com so folks can have easy access. Mike Ricks with the SBA, thank you so much for your time.
No, you're more than welcome. And if you have any questions, just give us a call.